Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Zamots podcast, where we focus on faith,
family,
fitness,
finances,
and friendships.
Today we're going to be reading from Galatians chapter 6, verse 8, and it reads, "Whoever sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction. Whoever sows to please the Spirit, from the Spirit will reap eternal life." Amen.
Amen.
What's up, family? As y'all can see, we're in a different location.
Relocated.
We are in Palm Bay, Florida, where the sun is shining bright and the wind is blowing hard.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people would be like, why y'all go to Florida when they got hurricanes going on? Well,
technically, the hurricanes are over.
Technically. And it wasn't as bad as they said it would be. Well, at least
not in this
area.
Yeah.
This area wasn't bad. It still is upkept.
It didn't get touched. Like this area, they said it was just like really, really bad winds. Like the wind was really bad over here. But like as far as damages and stuff like that, they didn't touch them.
It doesn't look like they had a hurricane at all.
Yeah.
Like nothing, no trees are broken, like nothing.
They lean in a little bit.
They lean a little bit, but it don't look crazy.
Yeah.
So we out here. We came to surprise our mother, my mother, her mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
We came to surprise her. So we popped up at her job after a 7.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
And yes, I think she was surprised.
She was extremely surprised. She didn't know we was coming. Neither one of them knew we were coming.
Yeah, my mom or my stepdad, neither one of them knew we were coming down. Speaking of stepdad, as you can see in the back, it says Jimmy Backus City Council. Okay,
yeah.
My stepdad is a politician. So if y'all in Florida or Palm Bay,
vote for him.
Vote Jimmy Backus.
Even if y'all in Florida, drive to Palm Bay and come vote for Jimmy Backus.
That's right.
Yeah.
That being said, yeah, we surprised them. We popped up over here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we have been wanting to come to Florida for a little while.
Basically, it's like the whole month of October. But just given our background, like we work in retail and we're like the assistant store manager. So it's like sometimes we gotta, stay in place because the holidays are very chaotic for retailers.
For sure.
So, we're trying to gauge it to when to come. We wanted to originally come during Thanksgiving, but it's just like us being considerate, of like both our teams at our stores. It's like, it's not the best time to necessarily go on vacation, seeing that the way that Aldi is, I'm good. The way that Aldi is like, we're off on holidays and the store closes really, really early. So we don't really be concerned or bothered about working on the holidays.
Yeah.
But it's like making a trip before. I don't know. Like we've done it like the past 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, oh, we'll be home. Like we'll actually be able to cook this year because most of the time, we come down here or,
mm-hmm.
Last year we were at your sister's house. So it just gives us the opportunity to like solely like celebrate the holidays as a family, like a completed family.
Yeah. Yeah, we usually do have holidays with the entire family.
Yeah. It hasn't just solely been us besides like on Christmas. Usually Thanksgiving is like, since my birthday is around that time, we usually like take that time to dedicate it towards her.
For sure. There's a lot going on in November too.
Yeah.
Our daughter's birthday is November. Like we got baby showers, other people's birthdays that we want to attend. So
it'll be a lot.
We had to pop up over here now.
Real
and it's
quick.
Beautiful. It's October. What is it? October 20th.
Mm-hmm.
We're recording this October 20th. It is currently 1:12 p.m. and it is blazing out here.
Yeah.
I know y'all see the sun shining on our beautiful melanin. And it's blazing out here, but it feels great.
Yeah.
This is what
good.
October feels like in Florida.
Especially since in Georgia right now, it's like 38 degrees.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, and I noticed that truthfully, anytime it's super, super cold at Georgia is when we take vacation.
Yeah, we got to be out of there for a
little
little bit.
Let's go back to the heat when we just got out of the heat.
We need to step out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to get into the pod, y'all. All right, family, we're going to read a few questions that we have from our card game called Tonight's Conversations. And the reason we do these questions is so our audience can get more familiar with us, so we can share more of our perspective and more about our life who we are as a couple, who we are as individuals,
Yeah.
and it's also for our benefit, right? We get more familiar with each other. 7 years in, I don't know everything about my wife. She doesn't know everything about me. We're still learning and growing. So every day is like something new.
Yeah.
So doing these questions gives us an opportunity to expand on our knowledge about one another and also share more of who we are to you all.
Right.
So my wife's going to read the first question.
Hey y'all. Okay. If you could write a letter to send to us on the day we became official, what would it say and why?
On the day we became official, what would I say? I would say, Dear Bubbles, I hope that the commitments that we make from this point on are valued, appreciated, and kept, and that we are going to work through whatever challenges we come upon, because I don't want our relationship to be like a lot of relationships
Yeah.
where the smallest things break them up. That's it.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay, so I would say, Dear Muffin, I want you to know that wherever you are, I will go.
Mm.
You are my man, forever and always. With you, I will stand.
Okay, girl.
So whether we are high or low, I'm your girl. And that's it. I love you.
Very poetic. She told me she loved me on the first day. That's what I
I
like.
did not tell you I
You
love
just
you.
said
Oh, okay,
you just
okay.
said
On the day we come official for sure, because I mean, the day that we technically came official, we were already in it. Like,
no pun intended.
it was kind of like he didn't come out and be like, "Oh, will you be my girlfriend?" I most definitely was asking, "Can you be my boyfriend?" Like,
We
not
have a
my.
hard time with this because I never really asked her to be my girlfriend
But
until
y'all know, like our loyal watchers, y'all know that like the story of us, it never was like, okay, on June 21st, 2018, we became boyfriend and girlfriend. Like it wasn't that, but it was just like we knew the way that we were moving. It's like, okay, I'm his and he's mine.
yeah.
Like, but it was like, do you feel like you're kind of fighting it or that you're
Nah.
questioning that's why you didn't ask, or it's just like that wasn't necessarily a thing for you?
Yeah, it wasn't that I was fighting it. I just didn't really know how to go about it. Like
So is
I don't know.
that
I didn't
why a
know how
lot
to.
of dudes don't ask? Because, like, just giving the male perspective, I feel like from the female perspective, there's so many females that I see that are in situations that, you talk to a dude and it's like, okay, we're doing relationship things. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, y'all both share those feelings to where it's just like, oh, like, he rocking with me, I'm rocking with him. But it hasn't been said that, like, I'm his girl. So I'm, like, kind of just waiting for him to, like, make that move. And it's like, okay, when are you gonna make that
It's
move?
like what's understood doesn't have to be explained, but it kind of does have to be
It does
explained,
have to be
just so there's
explained.
no like gray area. So I didn't really know when or how to go about like asking. I said this before. It's like childish for me to be like, "You want to be my girlfriend?" Like
Yeah.
it's like I would be okay with just popping up with a ring. Like let's get married.
Yeah, that
You know
wouldn't
what I
have flew
mean?
well because I would have been highly confused.
So it was just like I thought we was together. But I'm glad that you asked because I don't know how much longer it would. Eventually, I would have asked. I would have been like, all right, like, are we like official? Eventually, I would have said something. But for the time being, that time frame that we were in, I just didn't have a sense of urgency about asking. Like, if
Yeah, and
we,
I think it's more so too. It's just like I was asking him, like I was asking you, like, okay, like what are we? Like, how do you feel about me? Trying to like get you to be like to try to like put a stamp on what it was that we were, because there
mm-hmm,
are plenty of relationships where people just be talking, kicking it, y'all vibing, and y'all just have good vibes going on, and like the other person necessarily don't want a relationship with you,
right,
but like they want you around to be like that friend and that companion. Like they just not at that point to where it's just like they want to be in a relationship. So for me, seeing other people go through that, I'm like, this ain't that.
yeah,
Like, I don't want to go through that, but I don't continue want to, fall harder, 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 and harder for you. And then it's like,
Like, whoa, wait a minute.
Then it's like,
This ain't that.
we never said we was together, because you see so many times that a
It
dude be
happens,
like,
yeah.
I never said you was my girl.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we
yeah.
never had that conversation. And it's just like, in a girl's head, it's like, well, you treat me like I'm your girl. You introducing me as I'm your girl. But then because you never asked me, because it never came out of your mouth, it wasn't like solidified.
Yeah, I get it for
Yeah,
sure. I definitely get it. But, it all happened the way it was supposed to happen. All right,
that's
next
true.
next question, y'all. It says, if you could write a oh, hold on. It says, from 1 to 10, how well do I handle disagreements? Explain your rating. How well do I handle disagreements? Let's hear this.
I feel like it depends on what the disagreement is. It varies. For the most part, disagreements, I feel like you handle it on like a 7.
7 out of what?
Oh,
Out of 7?
7 out of 10. Only because we still growing. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're still
Yeah.
growing. We're still learning with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and we're both very strong willed.
Yeah.
I feel like when it's a topic that's like, oh, okay, like it's not that serious. You get what I'm saying? I'll give you a solid 9.5 out of 10. But on topics to where we're both passionate about, and like we're like strong willed on, you're a 7. You're not bugging. Like, you're not budging at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm the same way too. Like, if I feel passionate about something, most of the time I'm just like, okay, whatever. And then 20 minutes later, I'm about to bring that same topic up again, because I don't feel like you're hearing me. And I feel like that's like with you too. Like, you're not hearing what I'm saying. Like, you're not
Mm-hmm.
understanding it from my perspective. It really be like a perspective thing with us. It's not that I don't hear what you're saying. It's like from the perspective of a man, understanding where you're coming from, and the perspective of a woman where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So that's why I give it a 7. And that's not a bad 7. Like, oh, it's a 7, so it's bad. It's a 7 because it's like we're still growing and working through that. Like, that's not something that we've mastered when it comes to. Now, I will say our disagreements aren't disrespectful. It's not rude. It's not unloving. It's just like both of us get quiet and like, all right, let me think on it. Like, we're meditating on what one another then said, to where when we come to each other to talk about it again, we're able to actually have the conversation and not necessarily be offended. Because a lot of time, our disagreements, I take offense to certain things that you say.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I'm still learning that. And I feel like a lot of things you take it to where, okay, she's not listening to me, or she's not hearing me. It is not. It's like my perspective and my view sometimes overrides what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the fleshly nature of just me. So that's why I would give it a 7. What about you?
I'm going to say a 7.
Because you're a copycat.
Yeah, because I'm a copycat. So she give me a 7, I'm going to give her a 7. It's only fair, right?
No, but truthfully, what would the score? Whether it's a 7 or a 3, what would the score be?
A 7.
Genuinely.
A 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I would give you a 7. Because,
Okay.
yeah, I feel like the disagreements that we have, we don't really have many disagreements, but the disagreements that we do have, because we're both strong in our beliefs and our convictions, yeah, we tend to just have different perspectives on things, as you said.
Yeah.
And it's more about accepting one another's perspective as opposed to trying to change each other's perspective. Like, I forgot who I was talking to, but I said, it's not my job to change my wife, it's my job to love my wife, right?
Yeah.
It's not our job to change one another. It's like, you respect me, I love you, and then we, it makes for a marriage. So, but that's easy to say, but difficult to do. You know what I mean? It's a process. So yeah, we still are growing. We're still learning that, and we've gotten much better from when we first got together. The disagreements that we had, it was like, I ain't trying to hear what she got to say because she ain't trying to hear what I got to say.
Yeah, it was petty.
But still, it wasn't disrespectful. Like,
Never
we
disrespectful.
still didn't disrespect each other. We never come from a place of disrespect, calling each other out of our names, like, being physically or verbally abusive to one another. Like, that's never been a thing.
It ain't never gonna be physically.
Yeah.
I promise you, ain't never gonna
Or
be
verbally.
physically.
Or
I'll
verbally.
get gone before it.
She'll cuss me out before I cuss her out.
Yeah, for sure. Because I come from a place of like Brenda, so that y'all don't know who she is. Just look her up. That's
Just
my
look
mama.
her up.
Like, that anger is, yeah. Like, if I'm mad, like, my first thing was to just like hit, and I'm like, I can't. Like, I grew up seeing my mother beat on men.
Yeah,
And it's just
I don't
like,
really
why
come from
would you
that.
do that? Because they can beat you up. Like, they can beat you up. I mean, most of them didn't beat her up. I'm not gonna lie.
She ain't believe
Her
that.
hands are lethal.
Yeah, she
But
didn't believe it.
it's just me knowing that I come from that and seeing that growing up. Like, my, but that's the thing about it. I never got to the point to where it's like, I want to put hands on you.
Yeah,
It was like more so like, I want to hurt your feelings.
yeah,
But I always think, I'm like, he doesn't hurt my feelings. Like, if he's angry, if he's mad. And
yeah,
sometimes, like, I feel like in the beginning, especially when we were fresh, most definitely, yeah, you used to say some outlandish stuff. And then I would come back and I would say some outlandish stuff. But honestly, it would be because I would say something outlandish first. But it was never on the spec of like calling each other out. It wasn't disrespectful calling each other out our name. It would just be something that he knew that would irritate me. And then I knew something that would irritate him. So we would go tit for tat, tit for tat. No longer than 24 hours though.
yeah, yeah. We've grown a lot.
You grow a lot. You grow a lot with your partner, and just like realizing that I have somebody that's willing to at least hear what I have to say, and like me trying to learn exactly how to vocalize that, because a lot of times, like, when you grow up and it's like you've been told to like silence your voice for so long,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to communicating like how you feel and what you know want to express, it's like it's a battle in your mind. Like, okay, if
Mm-hmm.
I say this, will they feel this type of way? Or
Right.
if I say it like this, are they gonna hear me? Because the worst thing to me is to express myself and then not being heard or understood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if I spend 45 minutes being able to articulate how I feel and what you said that made me feel that way, and then in return you're not receiving absolutely anything that I said, I feel like that's the biggest disconnect in relationships. Whenever you're not able to communicate with each other and you're not able to accept what you're like, what one another is saying whenever they feel some type of way.
Yeah, I'm guilty because I definitely was on that when we first was in the beginning stages of our relationship. I would ask you like, "What's wrong?" or "What's troubling you, sweetheart?"
Yeah.
And you would tell me, and in my head, I'm automatically trying to just like fix it, or like
Yeah.
trying to really
Or you would ask.
trying to grasp how you could come to that conclusion in your head from your
Yeah.
perspective. And I can't grasp that because it's because you're telling me how you feel and I'm telling you what I think, so it's a complete, like, we're not even using the same language, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So me trying to argue with your feelings is senseless because like that's how you feel. And
Mhm.
I don't, like, I, of course I can't relate because I don't feel that way, neither do I really understand how you're feeling that way. So it's just like you just accept it, do what you can to, alleviate those feelings, or
Yeah.
hey, hey,
Find it.
hey, it is what it is,
Yeah.
you
I feel
know.
like a lot of time though, it's like sometimes it's like men, like you said, like men have that automatic like unk to be like, let me fix it. Like, I need to fix it, fix it, fix it. If she's bringing a problem to me, I have to fix it and I got to figure it out. So you're listening with the intent to like figure out how to fix how it is that
Precisely.
she feels. And
Yeah.
then also it's just like you're not being able to feel how she feels. I feel like on a spiritual level, and then us just us having kids and you actually being there, you
Mm-hmm.
know, to see the process and like be there every single day of, you know, me being pregnant and going through that. I feel like that helped shape you into being able to understand like the way that I feel is because that's the way that a woman is.
Mm-hmm.
We react out of emotions,
Mm-hmm.
and we act out of emotions because that's a gene that a mother needs in order to cater to her children and
Yeah.
also to cater to her husband. Like, that's something that we need. Like, if I was just a complete logical person, I would serve no purpose to you.
Yeah. You wouldn't
Like,
be a woman.
I wouldn't be a woman.
There are
So
women that are more logical and then men that are more emotional. Like I would say that I lean more towards my emotional side than most men
yeah.
because I was raised by a lot of women. So my emotions are like I have a higher level of emotional intelligence than most men, but it's still
Yeah.
nowhere near what a woman's emotional intelligence is. So I still need some
But I
improvement
feel
in that
like
area.
with us it's like that, it's that balance, because in a lot of
Yeah,
ways I'm more logical. Like,
yeah,
that don't make sense to me. Because if this and this, then that needs to be that. You know, and you're like, no, that's not it. I'm not feeling that for real.
Yeah.
Like when your mom was talking about that today, like she was talking about like when you had called her and let her know that you had like that you was moving out and you got your apartment.
Hmm. She
I'm like,
lost it.
that was an emotional thing. That was like a intellectual thing. It wasn't something that was necessarily like, oh mom, I got this going on, da da da. It
Hmm.
literally just happened out of the whims of, you being emotional about it.